invested in operations. So operations management is critical to any organization's success. The role of operations management is to design, plan, direct, and improve all the activities involved in producing goods or services. Operations managers are required to make decisions in 8 key areas. Some of these are more strategic, whereas others are more tactical. We'll be considering 4 of the more strategic areas. They involve high-level planning decisions about how an organization will get from where it is now to where it wants to be. These areas are strategic operations management, product design, supply chain management, and quality management. The first area, strategic operations management, involves long-term, broad considerations about the viability of a business. How will it create value for customers and gain a competitive advantage? For example, you might need to answer a question like, what are the unique features of our apparel business that make it competitive? Successful strategic operations management aligns an organization's operations to an overall business strategy. A second area is product design. This is where you make decisions about the features of a product or service. What features will make it a success? For example, a decision about which features to include in the next release of a company's cell phone line may greatly impact the success of the phones. A third important area where operations managers make decisions is supply chain management. This involves managing, monitoring, and controlling all activities along the supply chain. It's about deciding how to guarantee the timely, cost-effective acquisition of inputs and delivery of outputs to customers. For example, you might need to decide which suppliers to use and how best to transport goods to retail outlets. A fourth area is quality management. This involves determining how to measure and maintain quality and how to identify and resolve quality problems. For example, you'll need to decide what to test to check the quality of a product or service. On a daily basis, operations managers make decisions that are key to the running of their organizations. Knowing what strategic areas to consider can make you more effective in your role and add to your organization's success.
So that was operations management, and I did emphasize some of the major decision areas of operations management. Of course, some of the decisions that is the responsibility of the operations manager. Now, can you remember at least 2 decisions nga ginabuhat na to, or like ginabuhat sa mga operations manager in operations management?
Quality management, product design, and what is that?
Okay, so that's correct,
Yeah.
no? Quality management and product design, no? Thinking about what kind of new features should we offer in the new release of a product, or if we're going to open a new, or if we're going to release a new product, so what should it look like? What are its features? Or for example, unsa ang iyahang use, no? When it comes to ano pod sa quality management, no? For example, unsa man ato ang mga guidelines in order to measure quality, or for example to measure our products before nato siya i-release sa consumers to make sure nga it's free from defects, and of course high quality and durable siya, no? So those are just some of the major decision areas in operations management which we discussed last meeting. So let me just share my screen. So let us continue with operations management. So last time na-mention niya ang katong strategic decisions, no? Pero daghan pa na siya og klaseng OM decisions. Kaning 10 nga na-mention sa video, these are critical decisions of OM. And then, ang kani main operational decisions nga like the basic or the usual decisions that they go through like every day or whenever they would like to develop a new product or sell a new product. Kani siya critical because these are important decisions. So, basi ma-confuse ka ba nga daghanang decisions buhaton sa operations management mo? Oy, yes, of course, kay tungod, to ensure quality and of course to ensure smooth flow of operations within the business or within the hotel. So, kinahanglanon rin siya og mga different kinds of decisions. Tanan, no? Sugod sa unsay klase nga product or unsay klase nga service nga itong i-provide sa to ang customers. Kinsa ang mga tao nga mo deliver ana, no, ang training nga ilahang i-undergo on how to check quality, even looking for suppliers, choosing suppliers or selecting suppliers. So kana tanan importante kaayo na siya to ensure nga what we create for our customers can be of high value, and of course, no, masatisfy pud sila. Kaya atom kung end goal is customer satisfaction. So yesterday, no, we discussed or we learned about the critical decisions of OM, the important decisions that operations managers go through. So, naapo tayo tulo ka buok levels. These are different ha. Katong previous, kuanto siya, um, critical OM decisions. These three are the three levels of operations managers nga must make decisions through. So, sample sa strategic is nasa higher management, ang tactical is sa middle management, ang operational is naa sa lower management. So, daghan ko siya gi-mention dito sa video, pero more siya og ga-emphasize on strategic management, meaning kaning mga ing-aning decisions. Pero na po yung mga like person sa operational, like kung sa ang schedule sa tong mga empleyado or kinsa man ang mo duty karon, no, kana ganing mga kuan lang, mga minimal decisions like sa mga department managers or for example like sa head waiter. So usually diri na siya sa lower level. No, ang tactical is more on the middle management, kay of course unsa tay mga decisions gihimo sa under sa strategic level. So sila na bahalaan na i-relay pod sa operational nga level. So sige lang, we will discuss that later on. So there are three levels. We have strategic, tactical, and operational. We will start with strategic decisions. So that is actually the responsibility of the senior management. So kinsa man ni ang naa sa senior management, no, you have the COO, you have the CEO, the chief of finance, tanan no katong naa sa kinababuan nga that makes very big decisions, long-term decisions for the company or for the business. Dira na mag-fall under senior management. So it's more broad in nature and it determines the success of an organization strategy. Because usually, under strategic decisions or under the senior management, ang ilang mga decisions is kanisiya. No? Unsa ang new features sa ko ano. Dili man ang katong manager ang mo decide unsay bagong product. Although mo provide lang sila og suggestion or additional input, pero ang katong siya og mo decide to push through a project or a proposed product is his senior management, no, or nasa higher management. So it is very risky and hard to reverse because again most of their decisions are really critical, no, long term did siya, like for example the location of the facility, kinsa ang mga suppliers sa to ang pilion, or for example ana unsay mga products nga to ang i-release, no, or unsay products atong gusto i-develop. So it's really difficult to reverse kay once you invest your money into developing this product or for example into constructing a new facility kay mag-branch out mo, no, or for example mo tukod mo another na pod facility in a different location, then it's very difficult to reverse because you have already spent money, no, time, no, and even ang kuan other resources pa jud nimo na kuan na spent na. So it's very risky and hard to reverse. So usually those who belong in the senior management who make strategic decisions, it takes a lot of time for them to come up with like a final decision to be implemented. So it has a significant and long-term impact to the business and it's less frequent, meaning they only make these decisions like for example annually or for example every 2 years they have to come up with a new product na pod. So dili siya yung anak ka frequent unlike sa lower management, no, under operational decisions wherein dapat yun every day they have to decide kinsa na pod ang mo trabaho ugma. For example next week kinsa na pod magkuan na pud, mag-change na pud og shift, no, things like that, no. So unlike operational decisions, strategic decisions are less frequent but of course very important. And dili lang na siya ingon nga usa lang ka person ang mo decide ana, no. So siguro with the shareholders, with the business owner, or for example with the COO, the CEO, the chief of finance, tanan. Okay, so what are the examples under strategic decisions? So you have how will we make the product. If ever you're not going to, or for example, if the business will not opt for making the product or will not opt for buying the product, yeah, sila i-resell. So they will have to make their own product baron, or they have to make their own parts or ingredients, no. So mo na ang usa sa ilahang mga decisions, no, or ilahang mga i-discuss during like meetings baron. No, so how will we make the product? If ever we're going to make product in our business, unsa man ang mga utilities that we need, asa man nato na siya buhaton, the facility pa itself, no, ang tawo, or kuan lang, kana lang mo kuan lang ta og palita ta og robot ana na lang ato ang ipa-assemble sa product, or things like that. And then where do we locate the facility if ever we're going to make the product on site, we're not going to do outsourcing, then asa man nato na siya ay ikuan, should we build a facility near sa kaniya to ang main nga office baron, or for example dool ba siya sa dool ba siya sa ato ang vendors, no, like for example para sa anang Sagaysano or para sa anang sa City Mall, o may ana, no, how much capacity do we need? Do we mass produce our products? So kung medyo daghan-daghan dito i-produce, unsa kadakon ang facility nga tong kinahanglan, and when should we add more capacity? For example, if ever in demand ang ato ang products, then when is the perfect time that we need to expand? Okay, so those are under strategic decisions. The second level of OM decisions mo to ang sa pinakababa, kung sa pyramid pa mo ni pinakababa ang strategic. Ang second level is tactical, which is sa middle. No, so medium range decisions focus on resource needs, schedules, and quantities to produce. So tactical decisions are frequent and must align with strategic decisions. So nala sila sa middle management, usually like the general manager baron or the supervisor. So it involves resource allocation and utilization. So usually they get word from the upper management or from the senior management nga, okay, so naka-decide ay ang upper management or ang senior management that they will implement or they will present a new product nya mo kig-kuanta, makig-collaborate ta with like Kakao Talk to advertise, or for example yana rano, or for example we're going to collaborate with this celebrity to advertise our new products. Then of course we need resources. So si medium management na ang bahalaan ng mo allocate og resources, no, mangita og kuan resources, and kung sa to i-release upper management, sumo po na ang iyahang buhaton, and also mga ipasyagtabang ito sa lower management, iya po nang i-relay ang katong information kay of course, no, para makabalo ang tanan, kay we have one goal, for example, no, to successfully release a new product, so that everyone can work together on the project, and they have to have like communication. So once maka-receive sa communication from the upper management, sila nang execute, and then they all also involve the those who belong in the lower management. So it involves a moderate degree of uncertainty and risk, unlike the strategic decision nga wherein very risky because it's long term, they make most of the major decisions. Si tactical decision is more siya on a moderate degree. So para masabtan pa siya nato, like take for example school advisory board, like ang SAB, no, that comprises with the directress, the dean, the school treasurer, tanan, no, tanan nga admin. So mag-meeting sila, and then whatever gani ang ilang decisions nga ma-come up, mo nila ilang i-relay sa mga teachers. So si teacher yung i-execute to siya ang plan nga i-present abi sa admin, no, and then si teacher, for example nagplan bito sila sister nga magkuan daw, mag virtual student orientation. Implement na yun siya on the first week of class. So, ang teacher yan ang i-implement. Yung pagkahuman, of course, ang nasa lower ABS ang students ba ron, no? Or other subject teachers. Oh, so, mo din na siya. No, kanang,
Excuse me, Dam.
yes, Day.
Pwede manihapon ko, Dam, pero maminaw ra ko, Dam.
Sure. Pwede na kaka-on while listening.
Sige,
Kay
Dam.
gabiin na po
Salamat.
sa inyo. Sige, Day.
Yan eh. Maminaw ra ko, Dam.
Sige. So, there are the link between the lower and high-level management. So, kato nga example, si teacher, mara po siya og link between what are the admin's plans and then, yapo na i-relay sa mga estudyante, which of course is the person who will receive or experience kato mga plans nga gi-develop or gi-design by the admin. Same ra po na sa business wherein the higher management will think of like projects or for example, like events nga ilahang i-implement within the business. So, si middle management, siya ang link kay siya may mo receive sa information and then i-relay niya sa lower management and at the same time, execute po siya sa katong gusto nga decisions ni higher management. So, what are the examples under tactical decisions? So, naatay, how many workers do we need? When do we need them? And should we work overtime or put on a second shift? That's shift day, sorry. And then when should we have the material delivered? And should we have finished goods inventory? So all of those kay part na siya sa middle management nga decisions, no? Pila ka ba katong kinahanglanon, like for example, like the HR or for example si department manager mo na bing understaff man kaayo ta sa housekeeping. So how many workers do we need to hire in order nga ma-fill in to ang mga jobs nga we're in kulang taog tawo. And then when do we need them? Do we need them right away or should they start next month? Or how should we work overtime on the project or ang second shift na lang since we're going to hire new set of people, then we will take the first shift and then they will take the second shift so that ma-continue ra Japon ang pag work sa project and wala yung mag-overtime. Then when should we have the material delivered? For example, if naman ay natin ginatawag nga work plan. So, hata lang go ko example sa work plan so that you can also have an idea. Usually, it's the middle management that makes the work plan. Ang upper management, igor siya mo propose og oski mo open taan ni mo invest ta on a new facility, etc. etc. But a person who makes a work plan who implements things kay si middle management jud and then of course mutabang pud si lower management. I don't know if you can see my screen. I'll just zoom the work plan kay PDF mong gud ni siya. This is an example of a work plan. So for example, you list down what are the activities that you need in order to achieve your final goal, which is to release in your project baron or to develop a development plan. For example, planin na mo maghimo og development plan to be implemented for the entire year. So what are the steps that we need to do or the activities that we need to do in order to get there or in order to develop an actual development plan because we don't know where to start, no? Kay para at least systematic siya nga dili lang nga katag-katag lang no nga maski asa lang mo mag-start. So there has to be like steps or list of activities. No, para sa punang, for example, you will be tasked to make a project and then you don't automatically buy a frame for your project na you start off by looking for ideas on the internet and then you picture out what your project is gonna look like and then before you buy materials, no? So, mo man na siya. So, these are the activities. For example, these are your expected output or milestones. Like, at the end of each activity, I will get this. Like, for example, ang activity is to look for ideas on the internet. So, kung sa'yo inspiration to start my project. And then, ang expected output or milestone is na kay idea on what kind of project you're going to make. So, example rin na ha. And then, person's responsible. For example, if it's a group work, then you're going to enlist who are those people nga involved in making this activity, and then what are the resources required, like for example like internet connection or a laptop or example ra na ha, and then time frame and duration. So when should we start on this activity? Should we start on Thursday or should we start on Monday, and then how many days does it take to make this activity? If it's going to just take like 2 days, then you write there, for example, from June 21 to June 22, things like that. So this is an example of a work plan, and usually it's the middle management that makes the work plan because of course sila man ang early sa ilahang constituents or sa lower management nga. We're going to start on a project because the upper management has decided that we are going to offer a new product. So these are the following activities that we need to make before achieving that goal. And then these are the people involved. And then these are the resources that we need. But don't worry about the resources. Kami na bahala sa middle management mag-procure ana. And then ang time frame, so dapat we need to meet on the said dates. No, dili siya pwede nga malapas ta. So, kay if ever malapas ta, we will be behind schedule. So, things like that. So, this is an example of a work plan. This is really important. But I think I shared this with you in our class in macro perspective, but it was another topic that it's making of the development plan, I think. Okay. So that is tactical decisions. Now the second level in OM decisions. The next is operational decisions. So it involves a short time horizon. It's quite shorter if you compare it to the strategic decisions wherein it takes a very long time to decide, to discuss because of course no you will be investing not only time but money and it is irreversible. But see operational decision which is found on the lower management, so very short lang no, lang ka ng mga daily activities lang or daily tasks that you need to complete no. So it involves very little uncertainty and risk because if ever nga na ay masayop, like for example if you assign this task to this person and then you found nga kuan dili dai kayo siya fit for that task, then pwede naman to siya mailisan right away no, ma-replace og a much more competent person to do the task no. So that's very kuan lang no, kanang very low risk lang siya at the same time dali lang siya kayo siya, so mamausab no. So the examples of operational decisions are what jobs do we work on today or this week, like your day-to-day activity. Like for example, I'm done with this task today, so what kind of task will I be making tomorrow, and then to whom do we assign what task and what jobs have the priority. So for example, i-prioritize na nato ni ang paghimo og layout kay importante pa kayo ni siya for now. That is what they need right now, makita nila nga nanay layout. So things like that no, i-prioritize ang decision siya is unsa ang jobs nga i-prioritize nato, kinsa ang mohimo ani nga task, and unsa dapat atong buhaton within this day. Following day lahi na sad no. So very conjure kayo, very minimal ra kaayo ang naa sa operational decisions. Again, just a recap. So we have 3 levels of operations management decisions. You have strategic decisions, which is under the senior management or higher management responsibility. It's long term and it is very important, it's risky, and it's less frequent. The tactical decisions are under the middle management responsibility. Like operational decisions, it's frequent, but it must align with the strategic decisions. And it has a moderate degree of uncertainty and risk. So the tactical decisions are the link between lower and higher level management. Operational decisions are under the responsibility of the lower management. It involves a short time of decision making, and it has very low or little uncertainty and risk. Okay. So, let's try to look at the different characteristics. Recap lang po Japon tano on the OM decisions. Okay, I will ask this one later on. So, strategic, longer term, tactical, medium term decisions, operating, shorter term decisions. So, right away, no, maka-decide na yun ka. Medium term decisions, siguro it would take like a couple of days or a week. But ang longer term decisions, sometimes it can take up to months. Strategic decisions is the responsibility of the senior management. Tactical, responsibility of middle and senior managers. Operating, responsibility of middle and lower management levels. Strategic, when it comes to capital, high capital investment. Kaya sila man na mag-decide no unsa yung mga utilities paliton, sa tamo locate og facility, and then unsa nga suppliers ang atong kwaon, materials. Oh. So tanan pati marketing appeal na pud dira no kay kinahanglan po nato na i-advertise ang ato ang like products or the services that we offer. Okay, so in strategic it's broad in nature. Ang tactical is narrow in scope, while ang operational decisions are day-to-day activities lang of the workers. Sometimes kani si strategic kinahanglan pa gyud siya business research. No nya kuan like our business plan, no kinahanglan po nig marketing plan kay before you will implement a lot of projects, before you decide on things, you have to do a study if it is feasible or not. Kana magoy times nga we get too ambitious, we decide right away, we think of like what if we open like for example ato ang main jud is kuan ta, we are an IT company, but why not branch out on retail? Unya, nindot kay siya nga kuan abi, nindot kay siya nga murag idea, but when you conducted a business research, naghimo kag business plan, you found out that it is not feasible because your company is not ready to deal in retail or to expand in retail baron or to partner with with retail or example ra na siya. So, mo na siya, it's really broad. Mo na kinahanglan siya ni siya og like proper planning, research. Okay. So before we will continue to OM's contributions to society, I would like to ask 3 points lang ta, no? 3 points nga. Okay, so sorry. So before ta mo proceed with OM's contributions to society, so can you um like discuss at least three tulo lang kabuok or key points nga imuhang na learn from yesterday and today's discussion. Tulo lang I learned about kuan ma'am. Mo ni siya, mo ni. So, ano lang, i-enumerate lang. So, what did you learn from our previous discussion and today's discussion? Just point out three. Hello?
Hello, Dam. Um, wait. Well, I'll learn about all the difference between OM and um, PM.
Okay.
That they're very different
Mm-mm.
in all aspects, and then that there are like different levels of OM, or like that has a different responsibilities in management. There's there's three. There's strategic, tactical, and operational, and where there are there's the main operation decision that's needed to be handled by certain uh, management, or um, on how like the longer terms needs to be decided by the higher uh, management,
Mm-mm.
and then that makes really sense when it comes to this, because of to have a right flow in the management.
Okay, thank you so much, Kristensen. Okay, so let's now continue to OM's contributions to society. So, only a few people can appreciate the importance of operations management. It can actually help improve the standard of living. So, kita mo nga, in what way man siya, ma'am, nga maka-improve ang operations management into, like, improving the standard of living. So, muna siya to ang i-learn karong buntag. And then we will also learn about better quality buntag, sorry, this evening. So, better quality goods and services, concern for the environment, and improved working conditions. Okay. So there are so many contributions of OM to society. You have higher standard of living, better quality goods and services, concern for the environment, improved working conditions. We will start first with letter A, which is higher standard of living. So a major factor in raising the standard of living in a society is the ability to increase its productivity. So higher productivity is the result of increased efficiency in operations, which in turn translates into lower cost goods and services. Thus, higher productivity provides consumers with more discretionary income, which contributes to their higher standard of living. So, nga naman, ma'am, nga, if na higher productivity, it means increased efficiency and then it can improve standard of living. So, of course, like for example, ato ibutang, in a company baron or in a business, naka-mass produce mo og, example na ni siya, tist koan, 500,000 products within a matter of 2 months. Oh, so high productivity na jud kaayo na. Unya, it can result to increased efficiency because it means nga because you're doing things in the right way and it's of high quality, so less ang waste, less ang less ang masayang, ano kay kana ganing daghan kong na mass produce nga mga products like face mask baron within 2 months nga abot sa half a million nga kuan, and then nahalin dayon siya right away kay because there is high availability of the products, kay dali ra kayo daghan kaayo siya na produce, dali ra kayo siya mabaligya, etc. Meaning the people who are working, pagtrabaho nila nga product, less ang mistake, no, because of course high efficiency, no, less ang waste. So makatipid pud ang company in that way nga tungod na ay may increase in efficiency and high productivity, makatipid pa sila, ma-increase pa lang income. Kaya ato na ibutang, kay tungod high efficiency, less na lang ko masayop maghimo ani nga product. So instead nga makakalas ko og duha ka buok materials or 5 materials in making this product, right away automatically, masking it's impossible, no, kay masayop naman jud na tendency nga masayop jud ta. So for example, right away diha dayon paghimo na ko ani, pag-assemble na ko ani nga product, wala ko nasayop, ni kapasar siya sa quality standards, and then durable and high quality ni siya nga product. So meaning walay nasayang nga other materials. So katong materials nga wala na sayang, at least magamit pa siya no sa sunod na pod or lain na pod nga products, and then daghan ang ma-produce. So kung daghang ma-produce, na availability sa products, then daghan ang mapalit. And usually, if there's high efficiency and high productivity, less ang cost sa product. Kaya of course, diba, kato kong giingon kanina, less masayop ang usa ka tawo pag-assemble sa product. So, dili masayang ang materials paghimo. Unlike kung low efficiency nga maghimo lang ko og cake pero daghan na kay kog nasayang nga flour, daghan na kay kog nasayang nga sugar, daghan na kay kog nasayang nga mga ingredients. So kalas kaayo no nya. It took me at least 5 cans of milk before making a perfect cake. So low efficiency na siya, no, kay daghan na kay nasayang, daghan na waste nga ingredients. But if wala kay na waste nga ingredients, makatipid ang company, dili na sila magpataas og prices. And then daghan pa jud kag ma-produce nga products, no, kay paspas ka, and then at the same time walay masayop, walay masayang, then lower ang prices, and then daghan mo palit nga tawo. If daghan mo palit nga tawo, it will increase the income of the company. And then of course in that way increase pud ang sweldo ni empleyado, and that can even improve the standard of living. No, so si empleyado dako siya og sweldo, and then si kuan pod Si consumer malipay siya because the products that they are buying kay of high quality, at the same time low prices ra, makatipid pa sila, diling ana ka mahal, and at the same time kon pud siya no, kanang available siya right away no, on the same date baron no, as it was produced. So things like that no. So hatod putag another explanation how productivity matters for living standards. So the level of productivity is the most fundamental and important factor determining the standard of living. Raising it allows people to get what they want faster or get more in the same amount of time. And at the same time, as supply rises with productivity, ga-decrease pod ang real prices and ga-increase ang real wages. So win-win situation siya, no? May-increase gani ato ang productivity, meaning mo increase pod ang supply. Napoy increase in efficiency kay less waste. On the part of the company, dako ilang income, and then on the part pod of the consumers, they get to buy the products faster and get more products at the same amount of time. So dili mo out of stock. And mo na siya, mo decrease pod ang prices, makatipid sila. And on the part of the employees, mo increase pod ang real wages or ilahang sweldo. So that's it, no? Because of that, it improves the standard of living, or there is higher standard of living. So any questions with regards to the contribution of OM to higher standard of living?
Nandam.
Okay, so let's proceed. Actually, this is just like a schematic diagram or a flow on how higher standard living, or sorry, on how operations management can improve higher standard of living. So again, improve productivity. So we mass produce products, but at the same time, it has to be done in an efficient and effective way. So result of increased efficiency in operations. So because we mass produce products, daghan kay supply, and they were done in an effective and efficient way. So the result is lower cost of goods and services. There's more income to the company because people can get what they want right away. And then kung ginahan sila daghanon pa jud nila, di mahatag ra pud nimo, di ba? Kay there is high supply. And then that can improve the standard of living for both the employees of the company, for the company itself, and even sa mga consumers. So everybody is happy. So yung ana ra. Next is better quality of goods and services. One of the many consumer benefits of increased competition is the higher quality products that are available today. So because of OM, if we establish high standards in operations management, and if ever there are managers that are properly trained on how to handle operations management, then of course, people will get to do their job right. And then products that they will produce will also be done in a right way. And ang result ana is better quality of goods and services. So quality standards are continually increasing. Many companies today have established a Six Sigma quality standards, which was pioneered by Motorola in the late 1980s. You also have other practices like Kaizen, which were developed by Chinese businessmen, and even kay Toyota. Siguro maabot ra ta ana later on in the later lessons na. So resulting in no more than 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So kung sa statistical probability pa no, gamay ra kaayo ang defects nga ilahang na produce per million opportunities. So 3.4 ra, no? So such high quality standards were once considered not only prohibitively expensive but also virtually impossible to achieve, even if it cost wasn't a consideration. So before, people who were not yet properly trained or were not yet fully aware of the importance of operations management thought that it would be very costly, it would be expensive to establish, or let's say to practice good operations management. Pero karon, it's actually the standard na, no? Muna na siya ang requirement, not only when it comes to manufacturing but even in our industry, no, which is very service oriented. Importante jud kay na nga mo implementa og operations management, no, because again, no, it improves the quality of our goods and services that we offer to our consumers. So today we know that such high quality is not only very possible, but of course OM can result into lower cost because firms can reduce their waste and rework. So kung naman ang na-mention kanina, no, because of OM, because of operations management, where people can be taught or can be trained to work things in an efficient and effective way. So less ang waste, ang less pod ang time mas spent for rework. Kay kalaban may anagod nga, ipabalik na pod kay sayop. Nya, of course, you will spend more time. Instead nga, ang estimated time nga inyuhan lang ma-finish na siya nga output or kana siya nga nga product is within like 2 days, mahimo na lang siya og 5 days kay daghang sayop-sayop, no? Ya, makuan pa jud ka magpakakalas pa jud ka. No, mabuto kong giingon ba katong example like baking a cake nga wherein supposedly you're going to deliver the cake tomorrow, pero kapila na ka magsigbalik-balik, masayop ka, so ma-waste pa imuhang ingredients, kalas pa kay ka ingredients kay mopalit pa jud ka kay nahutdan ka kay permira makalas, no, kay mag-usab-usab na sad ka, and then di pa jud ka makaabot sa deadline or sa time nga expected for you to deliver the cake. So muna siya mo extend na po kag pila ka days, no, so that's not efficient and effective anymore. So muna siya, that is why OM is really important because it can avoid situations like that, no. OM can help improve not just the quality of life or standard of living but also no our quality of goods and services and even how we train our people. So next is this is the third impact or ang contribution ni OM sa community or sa society. So the third is concern for the environment. So, many companies today are taking up the challenge to produce environmentally friendly products with an environmentally friendly process. So, gone were the days nga wherein businessmen would only think about profit but would not think about their employees and, of course, how their products can affect the environment. Today, it is highly encouraged that businesses should practice corporate social responsibility or CSR. So what is corporate social responsibility? So meron po na siya og dili lang siya ingon nga magkuan lang ko organize ko og feeding program og charity. Dili lang po na siya kutob dira ang CSR, no. Even your corporate social responsibility can also cover like for example those are product not harm the environment. Dili ba siya like for example maghimo ko og kuan, maghimo ko product unya ang waste ana dispose ba siya in the right way nga dili siya harmful sa environment, or for example ang ako abang nga products kay dili ba siya harmful sa mga tao once they will use this product, or kani nga product pa is cruelty free, meaning this was not tested on animals. Importante ka na siya ron, no. I don't know if you have seen Save Ralph ba to siya nga campaign wherein Ralph is a rabbit, no, nya he is tested on by multiple products ba to siya, no, sometimes sa mata to see if kanang kuan ba siya, no, nabay ingredients dira nga can be irritable or for example can cause allergies sa mga tao, no. So luoy kaayo ang mga anak pod nga like hamsters or lab rats or rabbits nga they get tested on no before nato siya ma-use to ensure nga safe siya for consumption. So nga no, corporate social responsibility is not only just thinking about your business but also you have to think about the welfare of your consumers and also of the environment, no. So either your products are recyclable. Actually, it's one of the trends sa mga local businesses. That is why I also support them and I also would like to kuan puno kanang promote some of these local businesses kay para sa anang although expensive man jud ang uban, no, kay they're going kuan mo gagamit mo sila mga organic what do you call this ingredients, and ilha ganing packaging like for example dili sila mo gamit og bubble wrap. Ang uso nga na gani karon abot lang kay ang uban man gud ka bubble wrapper Japon, but there are some local businesses nga mo gamit sila og kanang bamboo nga mag criss-cross na siya nga i-wrap nimo sa kuan para dili siya mabuak ang item, And it's conscious, it's hindi mo sustainable but it's environmentally friendly because kana man good siyang material nga gigamit sa mga bamboo wrap is pwede rin nimo na siya kanang ganing kuan siya kanang unlike plastic nga dugay siya what do you call this? What is the right word? Nawala na ko. Kana ganing dugay siya maano ang plastic like after pila ka years naran siya po ang plastic dili siya dali ma-dispose unlike papel nga malanay ra siya no mabasa lang na siya ma-dissolve ra dayon siya pero ang plastic dili jud no para sa anang makita nimo na pay mga packaging sa sauna nga mga chichirya no katong elementary pa ka hangtod karon na arad siya pon so dugay jud kaayo siya disintegrate ba ang correct word or correct term ana so example magmora na siya no so ingana no ang uban gani is they're opting for like dili na mga plastic boxes kana siyang cardboard boxes and then ang uban gani kay papel like for example para sa lang sa office daghan kay kog mga papel dira nga extra nya ginapangayo na subang businesses kailangan ng i-shredder so i-shred na nila and then mo na himuon nila og murag substitute for bubble wrap para dili po rin kay kung bubble wrap man go dili man gud siya dali kayo ma-dispose no nya kung sunugon po nimo dili po siya maayo sa environment o, another example para sa ana pong mga beverages no naay kabaligya diri sa San Carlos City nga wherein ibutang nila sa bottle and then ginhayo na nila nga if ever dili inyo gamiton ang bottle i-request sila nga pwede iuli kay para ma-recycle nila malimpyuhan and all para ma-reuse pa jud siya para dili daghan ang pag-produce og mga ing ana nga material so things like that no another example of companies that establish also concern for the environment no you have other products that are cruelty free they do not test that one on animals and they use like recyclable like bottles or packaging for their products no uban gani gayo sila og mga native mga native nga packaging pod no instead of using like straw thread or like ribbons nga lisod kayo siya i-dispose gamit sila og kanang made from coconut fiber so may ana no even pots no they produce like eco-friendly so mo na importante pod karon no nga even people labi na sa mga kabatan una no like millennials or generation Z who are really quite kana sensitive kay sila when buying products no they would often opt for or patronize for local businesses who are environmentally friendly and are very sustainable. Okay, next is letter D, which is improve working conditions. So this is the last one before we will end our discussion on OM and then we will proceed with multicultural diversity. So improve working conditions. So managers recognize the benefits of providing workers with better working conditions. Of course, if you are going to put your employees in better working conditions, it can also boost their employee morale. Kaya masking kita mismo, no? I know you've already had an experience naman working. Ikaw kung if you're going to work in an environment where you feel uncomfortable, where you feel nga you are not appreciated, where you are not acknowledged, then you will not be inspired to work anymore. Sometimes manggod labi na sa ato ang mga batan-o no, we have this culture na pod nga sometimes the pay does not suffice anymore no. It's all about how our employers treat us and how we feel with our co-workers. Do we work in a non-toxic environment? So with OM manggod, 'di ba, as what I've mentioned the previous lessons, OM is not only concerned in getting inputs to be transformed into outputs and getting things done and ensuring quality service, but again, 'di ba, OM is a combination of product management and service. So when you combine them all together, that's operations management. And part of, 'di ba, part of OM is service. And service includes human resources. And we need to take care of our people. Later on, in our lesson or in our class in multicultural diversity, naapo dira example wherein it's really important to take care of your people because your people also or for your employees because your employees will also take care of your customers. No? So in OM, there are some practices there that can improve working conditions like encourage them to like suggest or encourage them to participate in decision making that can even like kung ano kay sige kita masking like gipangutana man ko sa ako ang boss of unsa akong idea ani, and it's like it's very overwhelming because I'm just like a lower class employee, or for example no, or a lower class level employee example ra na siya no, or kuan ka nang wala pa ko ga-expect nga my suggestion or my idea will be recognized, no? So it's very empowering as well, no? So yung ana, no? So there are some practices in OM nga of course that can also help or that can also improve working conditions for the employee. So workers are now encouraged to participate in improving operations through suggestions, no? And at the same time, in the business man pod, kung na po ka nga, sometimes it's best man pod to ask your employees because maybe na sila yung mga ideas that can be of value to the company, no? And we can also get to know our employees better. Kinsa man diri atong employees nga very has a very good initiative, that is very hardworking, or kanang na mga nit nga ideas, no? And of course kani mga tawhana pwede man po na nimo, like you can also benefit from them and they can also benefit from you, no? Because they will get the experience to work with you, na po sa experience nga ma-acknowledge sila, ma-share ilang ideas, and then ikaw po, no, you will get a lot of ideas that can also improve your business. Okay, so after all, who would know better how to do a particular operation than that person who does it every day? And that is true, no? Like for example, tinod pito po na, no? For example, sa mga po as teachers, daghan kayo mustorya ang naa sa CHED or unsa no nga monito ang plan si implement, and sometimes there are things nga we do not agree or dili jud totally mi maka-accept pod, kay of course makaingon pod mi nga it's easy for them to implement this, but they do not know what we experience every day in the classroom and how we deal with our students. So I guess the perfect person siguro that they will ask suggestions or for example a consultation should be from those people who have an experience in what it's like working in the classroom, because some of the people some of the people that is working in CHED or in the higher ups, some of them do not have an experience at all teaching in an actual classroom. Para nila murag ka ng kalabanan ganay anak nila is nag-principal or nagkuan pero wala jud sila experience in handling a class, elementary class. Lahira ba ang pag-handle og elementary nga classroom compared to a high school nga classroom and sa college po, 'di ba? So mo na siya in a business, it's like that, no, nga you need to also ask, no, people who do the work every day, kay sila man jud ang mas nakabalo, no, especially sa hotel, no, dapat mangutana puta sa katud yung mga naka-encounter sa guest every day, because sila mismo nakabalo sa experience ni guest, sila mismo ang naka-receive sa feedback ni guest, sila mismo ang naka-handle ni guest every day, no? So muna siya, it's also better to ask them like suggestions baron or like an evaluation or etc. Okay, so managers also have learned that there is a very clear relationship between satisfied workers and satisfied customers, especially in service operation. So sometimes the causation of happy customers are from happy or workers, no? Kay pars anang usa sa mga corporate culture ni Marriott is wherein they treat each employee as like a family. They treat their employees very well. Nga up to the fact na si employee, they will feel very comfortable. And of course, the employee, they would see nga, hala ka lang, they've done so many things for me. I feel so welcome, or for example, I feel very welcomed in this establishment that I work in. So I will have to do my best. I'll have to do my job very well, no, because these people are also treating me very well, no. So ako pong tarungon pod ako ang mga customers or mga guests, no. So things like that, no, there is actually a connection between satisfied and happy workers and satisfied and happy customers. So empowerment, it's the concept of encouraging and authorizing workers to take the initiative to improve operations, reduce costs, and improve product quality and customer service. So if we acknowledge our employee, for example, if we belong in like the middle or upper management, and we see our employees doing the best that they can, and we see an employee that is actually contributing to our business, then it is actually right lang jud to acknowledge them, to give them credit, no, because it empowers them. Masking ako, no, nga pars ana ron, siguro I will not be as active as I was before if I was not acknowledged or appreciated by our dean, or for example given opportunities like scholarships, or for example tagaan ko og a conducive work area, like for example tagaan ta og like a spacious office, or better like internet connectivity, a better workspace, no. So, ing ana, no, kada palandaan nga, i-involve ko nila nga, ma'am, why don't you attend this event or this activity? We really need your help, etc., etc. That is actually very empowering on our part as employees, no? So, ana, jud na siya. So, we will proceed with OM of Service and Manufacturing Organizations next meeting. Again, I will not be around from 23 to 25th, that is sa PH time. Per sa inyo ha, that is 22 to 24. Now, sige lang, I will just inform you a day before if available ko to meet on Friday in your time and Saturday here in the Philippines. Okay, I do not know if ever na pa yung mga extension sa training. Kaya I will be having my training na next week. And it is expected at the end of the training, I will also take an exam. So I do not know if it will be extended another day. So I will just inform you a day before our scheduled class. That is Friday next week sa inyo ha. And Saturday next week sa ako ang time. So that we can also agree on a schedule. But of course, if ever I cannot meet you next week, so I will just upload an online quiz for you to answer. So, lalimot ko og hatag sa code. Ako alang ihatag ang code so that you can also have an access in our Google Classroom. Kay mag-upload na pod ko sa mga pre-recorded, not pre-recorded, recorded lecture videos and slides sa ato ang classes in both subjects. And then, for operations management and multicultural diversity, I will just provide like an activity. In multicultural diversity, it will be a research activity. Like you will research on a particular establishment. That will be discussed later on, no? And then, OM, so we will have like a quiz on siguro for kaning tulo. Ay, upat jud di ay. Medyo taas-taas, no? So, sige lang, I will just highlight what are those topics that will come out of the quiz. So, medyo taas-taas na pala tong agi. So, 1 to 4 na nga lesson ato ang na-discuss karon. Okay? So, next week will be activities lang usa if ever maapiki ko sa time. Okay, Miss Christensen, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
So we will have a 5-minute break. So we'll just come back right after because I will now discuss corporate culture and multicultural diversity in the workplace.
Okay, dam.
Okay, see you after 5 minutes.
Okay, dam. See you.
About 20 minutes. Yeah, I need help.